Hi, this is Jayson Stewart from Laps and Judgement Films, and this is Jay's Great Canadian Indie Film Indulgence. Now, I'm filming here in my kitchen, so you're probably going to hear my kids in the background, but that's the ambient sound that we have to deal with. How does the Indie Film Indulgence work? Well, here's what we do. I choose a filmmaker. It might be an actor, a director, a producer, a film promoter, someone involved in the industry, someone behind the scenes or in front of the camera, involved in independent filmmaking. I fire them off a bunch of questions. They then find an interesting place to record their answers, and they send them right back to me. We do our movie magic and package it and present it to you in this type of format. Our very first guest, it kind of breaks the mold of great Canadian in the sense that Matthew Perez is not from Canada. He's from south of the border. When I say south of the border, I mean south several borders. Matthew Perez was born in Miami, Florida, but has lived in Bogota, Colombia since the age of 7. And over the last few years, he's picked up a camera and realized that he has a filmmaker's eye. He loves to act, and he loves to get his stories out there. So I put together a bunch of questions. I'll fire them off to him and see what his responses are. Matthew Perez, how you doing, buddy?
Hi Jay, it's my pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me.
So Matthew, you picked up a camera a few years ago and have started playing around with it as a format. What is it about filmmaking that gets you going? What do you like about the process?
Well, that's a tough question. As an independent filmmaker, kind of learn to do everything, because that's basically what I'm used to. I do everything for my films. So I've kind of learned to love every single aspect of filmmaking, from acting, writing, and editing. But I guess the thing that I enjoy the most is probably directing, because I don't know. I guess I can kind of interact with all of the parts in a way. So I'd probably say directing.
Tell us about some of the films you've made so far.
Well, I've done a couple of short films, and I've been lucky enough to have some of them screened in some film festivals. I've done, for example, The Hunter, which is 10 minutes short. It's a micro-budget. All of them are micro-budget, which is basically about a hunter that gets lost in a forest. My most recent short film is called Shadow, which is also short about a man trying to fight his inner self. It's going to screen at the Tokyo Film Festival pretty soon, actually.
Now, at 15 years old, you're pretty much an inspiration to other filmmakers, especially those who want to pick up a camera and haven't. You've actually gone out and done that. So who are some of your inspirations to get you into filmmaking? Maybe a director or an actor or a screenwriter that you particularly like?
Well, I've got a lot of favorite films. So that's a hard one. But I guess the movie that I enjoy the most, my favorite movie of all time, the movie that actually got me to develop such a great love towards film, the movie that I've watched 1,000 times and still enjoy it, is North by Northwest by Alfred Hitchcock. It's just, everything about this film I found perfect. It's just, the acting is amazing, the editing is fast-paced, every single thing about it is great, and I just love watching it. It's the movie that got me into film.
Now, I'm recording these questions all the way from Canada. Honestly, I don't know much about Colombian film at all, other than North American stereotypes. So, who is a Colombian filmmaker that we should follow, a Colombian actor or actress that we should follow, or a Colombian film that you think stands out as a very good example of Colombian cinema?
Colombian film is not widely known throughout the world, and it's a shame because it deserves a lot more recognition than it actually gets. For example, Ciro Guerra, which is an amazing Colombian director, he actually got nominated for Best Foreign Language Film last year. He's done incredible films such as Embrace for the Serpent or The Wind Journey. And I guess Colombian film should get a lot more recognition because it's actually quite good.
I'd like you to set up a shot for me here. When I think of the film work that I've done, my favorite shot is of a drone shot above an airplane as a group of zombies are converging on it. There was something in the way that that the drone operator, the camera operator, the lighting people, the actors, everything worked out so well, and I had an image in my mind of what it was going to look like, and it was spot on, even better than I expected. What is a shot that you've created where when you saw it, you got those shivers and said, yeah, that's the one. That is exactly what I wanted?
Well, I love the feeling of when a shot comes together because I use my imagination all day, and I actually love the feeling when that happens. For example, in my short film Shadow, there's a shot where the character, he enters the bathroom and he turns the light on, and the shot came exactly how I pictured it. And I guess it was probably the lighting, the editing, I don't know, but it was just amazing, exactly how I pictured it, and I love how it turned out.
What advice do you have for someone who is thinking of getting into filmmaking? Now, you're very, very young in your career, but you've already created some films. You've already had some festival showings. So what can you give as advice to someone who is thinking of getting started in this art field?
Well, I guess the best advice I could give anybody that people gave to me is be persistent. It's not the same say you want to make film and to actually do it. Show you want to make film. Actions speak a lot louder than words. And if you really want to do it, you have to have discipline. You know, the imagination is the limit. Focus on the story. Sky's the limit.
And my last question to cap off our interview. What is a project that you are currently working on that you can tell us about? Is there anything you can tell us, any teasers you can tell, you can share our viewing audience about something that you are working on right now?
I've actually been working on my first feature film script. I'm finishing the second draft as of now. And it's about a young boy who tried to find creative ways of spending his vacation by himself. It's a drama at heart, but still has plenty of comedy and I think has universal themes in it. I guess I should finish the script probably in the next few months, and I hopefully one day I will shoot it and it will be ready.
Well, thank you very much, Matthew Perez from Bogota, Colombia. It was fantastic talking to you, and I look forward to seeing some more of your films.
I hope we have the opportunity to talk another time. Thank you very much.
Well, that is our very first episode of Jay's Great Canadian Indie Film Indulgence, filming here live in Massey, Ontario. Google that. If you would like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Jay's Great Canadian Indie Film Indulgence, please contact us, 705-869-8221. Contact us by email at lijfilms@gmail.com. Judgementfilms.com. You can find us on Facebook as well through Indie Films Indulgence. This is Jayson Stewart. Keep shooting.